Join me in the Pledge of Allegiance, please.
We were back from Chicago, United States of America, and to the republic which stands one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Randy, I have another guy too.
You saw this, didn't
Mr. Bartlett, Mrs. Brown Knight. Here. Ms. Skolbach. Here. Dr. Lewis.
Here.
Mrs. Rankin.
Here.
Mr. York.
Here. All right, Rob clearly is not with us tonight, so we need a motion and a second to excuse.
So moved.
Second.
Mrs. Brown Knight,
Aye.
Ms. Gelbaum.
Aye.
Dr. Lewis.
Aye.
Mrs. Rankin.
Aye.
Mr. York.
Aye.
All right, he'll be excused for tonight only.
That's okay. Poor Rob.
All right, everybody had an opportunity to look at the minutes from last meeting.
Yes.
Yes, everybody saying yes? Do
Yeah.
we have any
Have
questions?
anything.
Any revisions, comments? No? No? We all good? All right, a motion and a second to accept, please.
So moved.
Second.
All right, Ms. Brown Knight,
Aye.
Ms. Gelbaum.
Aye.
Dr. Lewis.
Aye.
Ms. Rankin.
Aye.
Mr. York.
Aye.
All right, we will accept those minutes. All right, in communications tonight, we have a couple of items. It looks like we've got the official building. Where is Rod? Where did he take off? Yeah. What are we calling this exactly? Sort of the report, the monthly report? Any questions regarding this? Would you like to make a comment regarding this?
Not really, I did send a supplemental information on the rental property inspection, which is something we need. I mentioned in the note, add more details of the subcommittee and
Okay, the rental inspections, though, are going pretty much as planned, correct?
Yeah, I think we've hit the early adopters. There's a little lull now, so I'm sending out reminder notes and hopefully trying to get Sunset Properties to issue a big lot.
Yeah.
Inspection.
And you get a bunch of them, okay. Okay. All right, well, we also have,
Thank you.
Thank you, Ron.
thank you, Rob.
I mean, are you getting any significant pushback from anyone at all, or?
No, the people that are coming forward are eager to get the permits. I think there is I did pick up a little wind. I think there is some resistance to a few people that we haven't heard from. I mean, CMC has 15-20% of all the units in the village. They've yet to apply or respond.
Oh, okay.
Who's our contact at CMC?
Melinda or Mary Lynn.
And I don't think they ever came to any of our
That's what I was gonna.
open houses either.
They didn't come to the open house, but they do have all the information. They acknowledge they received all the information.
I believe
Should we
that,
go meet with them, or?
Yeah, I think it would probably be a good idea to see if, what's the reluctance, for sure.
Because they got the offices right back here.
Yeah, I can, am I allowed to make a motion that maybe we have a meeting with them?
no, you are not.
You can try.
We will arrange, I mean, the one assistant, I know she was at one or two of the meetings, not Mary Land herself, but one of the assistants, I'm fairly
I thought so.
Yeah, because when we talked about, remember the dumpster talk that we had?
Oh, that
And
was the
yeah,
dumpster people, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
Dumpster people.
okay. But if you want to meet with them, we can
Hill
arrange.
people.
All right. From Fiscal Officer Richard Ford, we have a couple of his reports. Revenue status and the appropriation status. Any questions regarding this? Seeing that we have Richard is with us here tonight, this would be your opportunity to ask directly. No? No?
Can you
Richard?
just, so on page 2 of 8, this is me still learning. So we have $400 in revenue for licenses and permits. We've budgeted $49,000.
Which report are you on?
Right. The revenue status, 2 of 8.
2 of 8 or 3 of 8?
I'm on page 2 of 8.
2 of 8?
A third of the way down.
Which line are you looking at?
I'm just looking at, it says other
the
licenses.
$49,000
Yeah, I'm assuming it's-
budget?
I'm assuming that's in other, it
So-
fell in other pots.
Yeah, so when it was originally budgeted,
Yeah.
we didn't have the lines that are directly following. So see how we have where it says Duke,
Yep.
CBT, Farmers Market? Those were not, those didn't exist. So you can see the budget there is 0.
Yep.
All of those were all bundled up into this one. But as the year went on, we said, we'd like to know, you know, how much are we getting here? How much are we getting here? And so we are posting the
Right.
cash in those, but that's why,
Okay, so yeah, so the cumulative of license and permits needs to be these other, I guess, project codes.
correct, yeah, the
Okay.
total, so the total of all those
It's about 6.
lines should
17.
kind of equal at some point.
Okay,
And next year, we'll obviously split that up into the different lines, so it'll be budgeted differently.
all right. What's keeping you up at night?
That's a rhetorical question, right?
Yeah, there's,
Yes.
yeah, still learning as we go through what's unique to you guys, but yeah, I don't really have anything specific.
Is there anything that surprised you or is surprising you relative to revenue or expenses?
Not really surprising.
Okay.
You know, being that I've worked with a lot of different entities and seen things done a bunch of different ways, nothing really surprising at this point.
Okay.
You know, obviously, you know, we'll fine tune this over the next year or two. Because some of the way you guys booked revenues and things were not
Right.
the correct way. Obviously, you can see that in your audits, where they just were putting the wrong lines, which we've corrected for the most part this year. But yeah, I wouldn't say I'm losing sleep over this.
So it's really about processes.
It's about processes, which is, we're fixing as we go, and you know, I'm confident we'll continue to get better and better.
And I just want to say thank you for taking the time to sit down with us and go
Yeah.
through this stuff one-on-one.
Oh, yeah.
That's been extremely helpful.
Yes.
Yeah,
Appreciate
and
that.
Really great.
I've really enjoyed those sessions, and I've got more, you know, coming up here. So
Very helpful.
yeah, so I enjoy it. So
Thank you.
thank you.
Anybody else, anything else? All good? All right, from Councilman Randy York, we have a Centennial Committee update. Randy, you want to?
Yeah, I just, since we haven't formally communicated too much of where we were, I thought it'd be helpful to kind of get you an update as far as where we are. You know, the big thing is, we don't know yet on any state funding. You know, we've talked about, you know, Colin Brinkman is being term limited out. We're going to have 2 new reps. Our state rep, our state Senate rep and House rep will be different. We've not heard from ODOT yet, so we'll see what those happen. And really, at this point, I think we've done now 11 online applications. We've sent 35 or so LOIs out. We've had 5 or 6 meetings with foundations. So we've done a lot, but that, you know, this is $2.5 million all in to do all this. So we're 22% there, but still have a lot of work to do. The big thing now is to look at corporate sponsors and what we can do with that. And I know, Mayor, you and I have talked about a couple of targets that we had in mind, so we'll keep it up. People are excited, so that's a good thing.
Yeah, and you do a very good job getting those renderings around. People can see the renderings, they can see some of the plans, what we're doing. I think that's very helpful. Where are they now? Are they in the library now?
Some of them are in the library, some of them are at home because there's a dad's group that's meeting. So I'm going to take those, go there Sunday, and then Lisa has agreed to put them up at the National Exemplar, so they're going to go there. Then there's a Kiwanis meeting coming up, and there's the Mary Elders meeting coming up. Preschool parents wants them for a meeting. The Rec Commission, theirs is going to be virtual. But we may put them up at the bell tower. so.
Okay.
So Randy, what's the revenue breakdown just in terms of foundation versus like resident individual? donations?
Individual foundation is about 40, almost 50,000.
Okay, the foundations.
No, individual contributions.
Oh, individual contributions are totaling about 10%.
Foundations is only, there's only 2 that's come in so far.
Okay, so of the 532,
Well, 532 includes foundations and the $30,000 grant from Hamilton County.
The planning grant.
Planning
gotcha.
grant.
Okay, and then of that, so let's say 500K of that 50,000 has come from residents.
No, that's on top of that. So there's about 50,000 right now. So 530,
gotcha.
532 includes foundation money and
Thank you. Sorry.
grant money. The other 50 is, I have to get my vernacular straight because I keep calling it private donations and people say, no, it's not. It's more individual donations, I guess, would be the appropriate way to put it.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Randy.
Randy, just real quick, how many total streetlights do we want to paint?
Well, there's 109.
Okay,
Of that 109, there's 112, 109 need to be painted. So we got another one today, so we've got 15 adopted, but I think they've only painted 7.
so there's 112 total.
112 total, yes.
Okay.
Are we shooting for just the historic district at
No,
this
that's
point in
all.
time?
That's all.
So, okay, so how many streetlights are in the historic district? That's 14? Or,
I'd
no,
have to
that can't,
count 'em.
that's,
I'm not sure.
okay. I was just, but, I mean, as we get funds, we're aiming to paint in the historic district, and then
Well,
as we
but
get
the-
above and beyond, or we,
Well, most of them have been adopted. I
Okay,
got
so
another
you
one today
picked-
that said, I specifically want to
Okay.
have
That land.
okay.
6612 Miami Bluff or whatever it is.
Yeah.
This is incredible work.
So all of them have been, I will tell you, all of them have had a particular streetlight that they want painted.
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah, yeah. Now, this is just to paint them, though. This is not the conversion from the incandescent to the LED.
And
That's a separate.
That's on a separate
yeah,
track, and
that's-
we're still at that, where those
Yeah, the-
lenses
I
are
know, so expensive.
$500, and it makes 0 sense.
Yeah.
And then the idea is, since they're discolored a little bit,
Right.
is that diffuses the light. So
Yeah.
maybe that's what we ought to be doing anyway.
Okay, okay.
And those are $500 a piece to do?
Well, that's
the
the
moment.
best we could find.
That's the globe.
I'm backing up, $500 to paint a street lamp.
To adopt a streetlight to paint is $500, yes.
Okay, and then as far as converting to LED, is there a possibility of grant money? 'Cause that's one of the reasons we set up the,
Yes, well, what I was told by Duke was that all that pool of money went to the nuclear power plant in that whole householder thing. So we can follow up again and find out.
But
And when we met with Hamilton County, they said no, because remember, Hamilton County Development Corp., they talked about,
Right.
green lighting and things like that, but that's for households, it's
Yeah.
not for.
Right, no,
for public.
right, no.
So, yeah, we can, I will tell you, I've not really circled back and looked any further than that. The Duke thing was not there, so,
okay, and that's just bringing me up to speed, because when the last we had talked, we had thought that was out there, and I hadn't talked to you since then, so.
And you spoke to the foundation or the company?
I spoke to the company.
Okay.
I mean, that well may not be permanently dry,
Right.
there could be money in the future to do a conversion, because, it's something that's gonna come. Okay. All right.
I think you have to do it, I think you have to do it and watch on your phone.
All right. Permission to address council? Mr. Van Stone?
Broken wheel here. I'm here again tonight as the chairperson of the Planning Commission. On October 4th, a public hearing will be held to review an application for Plan Unit Development, or PUD, by Miami Run Joint Venture LLC. This PUD will be at the site of the former steam plant and includes a proposal for 19 land dominiums. The reason for being here this evening is to inform council and the residents of Mariemont of the time and date of the public meeting, by the way, at 6 o'clock in the evening. The planning, this is the important part, the planning commission meeting will be the only opportunity for input from council members or residents. The meeting has been announced publicly and the submitted plan is available for public review. It can be obtained from Rod Holloway, the building department. There's an electronic version, and there's a hard copy of it. People can come into the building department and see. I just wanted to make sure that the council members and residents were aware of the potential importance of this, because if residents after the fact, it's approved, say, how did you let this happen? The cat's out of the bag. So just wanted to let you know what was going on and try to make the public aware.
And Bob, the only sort of significant, even, I'm using that term kind of lightly, you're calling them landominiums now. The original project was for condominiums.
Correct.
Now we're going to landominiums.
That's what the current, well, the actual verbiage they use is some, excuse me, Ed, but some legal gobbledygook about a fee standing something or other. But in any case, it's what most of us would consider a landominium.
Yeah.
And they're gonna have to also, and we'll talk about it at the meeting, subdivide the land that they own into private spaces, which are owned by the HOA, and 19 individual lots. So I'm just saying, this is the opportunity, if there are objections or whatever, we just need to make sure that is heard.
And now, and we did ask them to provide us with color renderings of what this development would look like, so
Yes.
that the public can come and they can have a good feel for
Yes,
what.
we've asked that. I have not seen that. Rod hasn't seen it yet.
Well, we
but-
just asked them a couple days ago. But
Right, and I fully expect that we want to have that in a development plan, not just presented. So there might be, the planning commission, it wouldn't surprise me if the planning commission asked for revisions to that plan and then reviewed it one more time. But I think the key point for input is the meeting on the 4th.
Okay.
May I ask?
Yeah.
I feel silly asking this. What is a landominium?
Well, that's just it. I think, the way it's presented here, it's like, oh my goodness, the sky may be falling. This project essentially has already been approved by the Planning Commission. All they're doing is changing the form of land ownership. Before it was a condominium, where the condominium property, the real estate that the units sat on were owned by the condominium association, and each individual owner of the 19 owners just owned the four walls around his or her residence, whereas a landominium, you actually own the fee simple estate, the title to the real estate upon which your particular unit sits.
Gotcha.
So it is very, very similar, if almost virtually identical to a condominium complex. We've been told, and I can confirm this, that it's true, it's easier for builders, developers to obtain construction loan financing when there's a fee simple estate that is being granted to the potential borrower as opposed to a condominium unit. And I think that's the only reason they're changing the form of ownership,
Yeah,
of land
I
ownership.
agree, and I want to make the point that this group is, to the best of our knowledge, has never appeared in front of the planning commission. The predecessor did.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
however,
technically.
to clarify,
Yeah.
previous administrations had cooperated with them, and the joint venture have put in the streets, they put in the sewers, they put in the sanitary sewers, they put in the water, and so it's a little bit late to say we want huge changes.
Right.
However, there can be changes in the architectural or some of those issues because no structure has yet been built. Is that a fair statement?
So at the time that this was approved initially,
Well, what do you mean?
I mean, by the planning commission,
No. No, that's the whole point.
Okay, so was the architecture ever reviewed, and is it typically reviewed by the planning commission, the style of architecture to be adopted?
It has never been reviewed. That's why we met informally with them, because they wanted to know what the lay of the land was, and we wanted full architectural renderings of the entire site.
So what is the process by which that is reviewed before anything's built?
If they come in with renderings on the meeting on the 4th, in my opinion, I don't speak for all the planning commission members, but I would ask that those renderings be reissued in this preliminary development plan and we will meet a couple weeks later to review that. But that way the public has time to look at them.
Can we put them on our website?
The way we have been doing it is that they will be available to building department. Rod can email them out to the appropriate people if the joint venture provides electronic copies, and I don't know when that will happen. We haven't seen those yet.
Well, but we might be able to scan them.
Well, they should have them electronic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They generated them that way.
Right, so, yeah.
Do you want them on the
Scan man
website?
can always scan them, I understand.
Do you want them on the website?
Well, I guess that's a question.
Or do we
In the
talk
name of
about, or does that
transparency-
come up in the planning commission meeting?
Well, I mean, obviously, part of the, like, to Bob's point, why we're sort of announcing it here, that should there be thoughts, considerations, concerns, whatever, regarding the architecture that's being built down there, yes, the planning commission would be the time to show up, the renderings would be there, and commentary could be made.
I would say we'd set them out.
Well,
I think
the
folks would want to
protocol-
know.
I don't
In the
know.
name of transparency, I think you would.
Sure.
because-
Well, when the public announcement has been made, at the bottom, it says, if you would like an electronic copy, contact Rod.
Oh, okay.
There's also, the preliminary plan is a document that's about 175 pages long. And unfortunately, I've read every word in it, but the point is, there's
It's
a
a great
hard
read.
copy of that available for people who aren't electronically. Rod has a hard copy of that available for anyone to look at, or he can send it out electronically.
Okay.
Thanks for
You know
clarifying.
what, I gotta say this, if people want architectural changes made to these units that they're building down there, frankly, I think they're gonna be hard pressed for us to make them change the architecture down there. This is not in the historic district, and we have all looked at these renderings that have been submitted. We all have different tastes in this world, you know, and I'll tell you right now, in my opinion, the units that they plan on building don't really conform with the old historic Mariemont type. I think you would agree with that. And I think people are gonna kinda get up in arms about that, and they shouldn't, because they're legally allowed to build the units that they're proposing up there at that site. And here's the other thing I think, and Bob and Bill and Rod know, I'm a big proponent of making this project approved, you know? And again, I don't have a dog in the fight. I think these guys have been wonderful to work with. The predecessor in interest is now working for the developer. I think he may have had some financial problems. He took a job with the current developer. He sold his interest in the property to the current developer. But I keep going back for people to remember what this property was 25 years ago. It was an old, dilapidated steam plant that caused us, and I'm pointing to Rick Hines out there, nothing but trouble, arresting people, vandalism, drug usage, drinking by young kids, people getting hurt down there. And then the other owners have come in, they've cleared the site, and they've built a property. So my opinion is, even if we don't love the architecture, some people don't like contemporary, some don't like traditional, so you're never going to get everyone to agree. But whatever they put up, if they put pup tents up down there, it's going to be better than what we had before.
The other thing, too, to remember is that yes, it is in Mariemont proper. It's within the village of Mariemont. However, being that it's sort of an isolated zone, you really can't see what would be being built down there from almost any vantage point, except perhaps
Rod's backyard.
Right.
So if the architecture is a departure from what we traditionally think of within this village, I don't see that as being an issue.
I don't either. I just want to make sure that the citizens know what's going on. And to your point, Ed, I don't think the planning commission has the authority to insist on architectural changes. However, we can make recommendations that the village would prefer if this, and that can be made.
That is correct, that is correct. And if they say, no, we're not going to do them, there's nothing legally we can do about that.
Okay. We all good?
I just have a question as far, I mean, do we have a checklist as far as, because will we have to redo our garbage contract to?
Well,
No,
take
care of
it's
those
part of the
households.
HOA.
They have an HOA.
They have an
So
HOA.
it's all but what
Right.
about snow removal? or-
No.
All
HOA.
private.
It's all HOA?
Private.
So we have, well, really out of, this aside from
Other
Rick,
than
Rick
police
Hines,
and
yeah.
fire, obviously, yeah.
I'm not sure about the garbage. I'd have to go read it again.
No, the garbage.
No, it's in the HOA
I got a
document.
feeling.
so they'll contract on their own
Yeah.
pretty well.
The
Just like
homeowners
they do-
association is
Just like they do
responsible
with
for
all
garbage.
the
I want to read
condos.
it again.
Yeah,
Sure.
They all
the
have
garbage
private
is in there.
contracts
Yeah.
with Rumpke.
Yeah.
I think you're
Okay, we all good?
Awesome,
Okay.
yeah.
Like I said, if anyone, even, because they will not be coming back to council.
Right.
Because the zoning at that parcel was changed many years ago, and they're part of the CRA. So whatever the planning commission decides will be the decision. So I just want to make sure that's clear to all the council members.
Thank you, Bob.
Thanks, Bob.
Thank you.
All right, well, has everybody looked over the bills? Any questions regarding the bills?
Oh, but that's a steal for boarding that dog. $286 for
Thanks, Bob.
11
Thanks,
nights?
Bob.
Pretty good, I'm gonna stay there.
Pretty good. All right, no questions regarding the bills. I need a motion, second, to pay the bills.
I have a
Oh, I
question.
hear a question.
Sorry. The Kleininger Group, is that pass-through money? Like, we're not,
That'll be, yes,
That'd be
that is being reimbursed,
okay.
yes.
Yeah, and so is 19,000 of the $19,800 for the batting cages.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So that'll be paid back. Yeah, thank you for bringing it.
Well, also, I believe part of
We
that
didn't
also was insurance money. There was
Yeah,
insurance money
there's
in-
4,000 of
Yeah.
insurance.
that was in there.
Good to know, thank you.
All right, a motion and a second to pay the bills.
So moved.
Second,
Second. Mrs. Brown Knight,
Aye.
Ms. Gelbaugh.
Aye.
Dr. Lewis.
Aye.
Ms. Rankin.
Aye.
Mr. York.
Aye.
All right, we'll pay the bills. All right, miscellaneous. Well, as some of us sort of had the discussion a little bit ago about when the committee of the whole would be meeting, that will be October the 3rd at 6 o'clock, 6 PM.
6, it says 6.
Yeah, it does say 6.
Yes, it does.
It does say 6. Special meeting of council will be held Monday, October the 10th at 5, now this one's at 5:30, and that's to hear the appeal, the ARB appeal from MPF. All right, beggars night? I love that.
It's a great term, isn't it?
I love it, yeah. That will be Monday, October the 31st at 6, it will start at 6, it'll run between 6 PM and 8 PM that's on Monday, October the 31st.
When does daylight savings time change? Does anybody know? Is it before Halloween?
No, it's usually November.
Yeah, I think it's
Oh, it's
November.
after? Oh.
Okay. I got one other thing I want to add in miscellaneous. The Mariemont Theater contacted me the other day, and this coming Friday night, they're going to be having a live jazz concert in the back theater there. I think they're going to have 5 different groups.
Yeah.
I think 2 or 3 of them are actually doctors. They're going to be up there playing.
Well, Ricky Nye's playing in it.
Yeah, he
That
has,
was
as one of them,
incredibly
yeah.
talented.
So this could be kind of interesting, you know, it's kind of a new event that we're having there at the theater. This could be fun, so I want everybody to be aware of this, and get those tickets early if you want them.
When's the homecoming parade?
Well, that's.
Friday.
That's Friday as well, yeah.
Big things happen.
Yeah, but, you know, I think homecoming and jazz maybe aren't the same thing. So, I don't think they're going to conflict. you know.
I agree.
All right, just a reminder. All right, we have a lot of resolutions to get through here tonight, and we are going to group some of these together. So let's just sort of bear with us on this just a teeny bit. Joni, would you like to start?
Resolution to form a diversity and inclusion committee. It's the third reading. We need a motion and a second.
So moved.
Second.
All right, Mrs. Brown Knight,
Aye.
Gelbaugh.
Aye.
Dr. Lewis.
Aye.
Ms. Rankin.
Aye.
Mr. York.
Aye.
All right.
Okay, resolution to confirm appointment of members to the Community Reinvestment Council and to appoint a housing officer. It's the third reading. We need a motion and a second.
So moved.
Second.
All right. Excuse me, Mrs. Brown Knight.
Aye.
Gelbaugh.
Aye.
Dr. Lewis.
Aye and
Ms. Rankin.
hallelujah.
What?
Aye and
And
hallelujah. That was in my committee for a long time.
Mr. York.
Oh, you didn't get me. I didn't get to say aye.
All right, Mrs. Rankin, I'm sorry.
Oh, my gosh.
Yay.
All right, that was the third reading, so that will be accepted?
Nah.
Okay.
To authorize consent PID number 110570, County Route Section, Hamilton 5029. It's the second reading.
All right, this will be the discussion reading. Any discussion about this? This, and just in case you guys don't remember, this is to do that repair work on the railroad overpass bridge down there on Old Red Bank.
Right.
For some weird kind of a reason, there's a little teeny section corner of Mariemont that actually touches the property, and apparently therefore we have to.
What are they, they're redoing the deck?
I think they're redoing.
Because I don't think they
they're
use
re-
that bridge now. There's trees growing out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But it,
I don't want to walk.
every time I go under it, though, I say a little
know.
prayer.
Just go fast.
You're doing this going underneath it.
But again, that's the reason why we're doing this.
Okay. A resolution authorizing an agreement between the Village of Mariemont and the Board of Hamilton County Commissioners relative to the improvement of Hiawatha. It's the first reading. Okay, to reappoint Rick Gibson as Mayor's Court Magistrate for the calendar years 2023 and 2024 to set compensation. That is the first reading. To confirm the reappointment of Rod Holloway as Village Zoning Officer for the calendar years 23 and 24 to set compensation.
They leave.
That is first reading. Okay, to confirm the reappointment of Edward J. McTighe as Solicitor for the Village of Mariemont for the calendar years 2023 and 2024. That is first reading.
Who?
You'll have your chance next week.
To reappoint Peter Wren as a member of the Architectural Review Board for the calendar years 2023 and 2024. That was the first reading. And then there's been a request to table these two for Park Advisory Board for confirmation. And Leah was going to do that.
Eric as well?
Yeah,
Okay.
I left him a message, he just,
If we're
Okay.
tabling it, we can't talk about it, right?
Okay,
Right.
okay. Just want to be certain.
All right, to reappoint Andrew Seeger, Steve Spooner, Mark Lassmeyer, Jason Brown Knight, John Figgs, John Morgan as a member of the South 80 Trails, Gardens, and Park Advisory Board for the calendar year 2023. Those are all first readings. To appoint Barbara Whitaker, Jason Brown Knight, and Marcy Lewis as voting members of the Tree Advisory Board for the calendar year 2023. These are all first readings. To reappoint Mary Beth York and Kristen Van Scoy as voting members of the Tree Advisory Board, calendar years 2023 and 2024. Those are all first readings. To reappoint Margaret, is it Jevick? Okay, as non-voting, along with Larry Gray, as non-voting members of the Tree Advisory Board for calendar years 2023 and 2024.
I need to double check, but I think the voting members, I don't think Jason is a voting member anymore, and I think that Margaret is.
Thinking what?
So, so we're just having our first reading, right? So we could have,
Yeah, we can do it during your second reading.
okay, so I will,
We need a table.
Let me
it
know,
then?
and then I can just make the change.
yeah, because I need to confirm that. I think that,
Okay.
Would you like me to confirm that and text you?
Yeah, take care of that, will you?
Okay.
well, I'm not sure what we talked about.
I was
in our-
surprised by that, so. I'll-
Okay.
I'll go
I
ahead
may
and
have
ask.
just read it wrong.
It's fine. I'll text you tonight, Marcy.
Thanks.
To appoint Bob Felton as a non-voting member of the Tree Advisory Board for the calendar year 2023. And then to reappoint Scott Hamlin, Stan Baylor, Lynn Tumler to the Audit Committee for the calendar years 2023 and 2024. Those are all first readings.
Oh, that's good.
And there are no ordinances.
Thank you, very good work there.
Thank you.
Let's see. Yes, we have no ordinances tonight, and that takes us to the
Task list.
task list. I think what we're going to do tonight is, does anyone wish to make any comments regarding the task list and their activities thereon?
I just want to do one about the safety committee.
Okay, all
So
right.
we have an appointment schedule, a meeting scheduled for October 6th at 3 o'clock. And they're going to be talking about traffic on Miami Avenue and Hiawatha Avenue. And the reason I'm talking about this is that I have understood today that a member from the Kleinger's group is going to come to the meeting, and they're going to start talking about proposals for the Miami Avenue, what they want to do to that intersection where it crosses Hiawatha and Miami, so that they're going to be giving information that might have some kind of effect on the bike path on Hiawatha Rembold.
This is really a safety committee
Yeah,
update,
are
not
we-
a task list.
Right,
Well, yeah, but that's part of my,
well, okay, because we're doing the task list tonight, right? Bill, to confirm?
Yes. yes.
Okay.
Anyone else got any other comments?
Hot tub regulations, so Marcy gets to cross it off, and that satisfaction should be
So are we
moved to
doing the
planning and
committees
zoning.
instead now?
Oh, is that,
Well-
I'm doing the task, I'm sorry.
Yeah, we're doing the task.
I just want to.
I'm
not-
sorry.
No, that's fine. I mean,
Yeah.
if we're going that direction,
No,
Yeah.
this
Wanted
is,
to
this
verify.
is me
You're
needing,
just excited that that's not on your list anyway.
well, no, I was like, it will be, you get to cross it off, but.
Okay, anyone else?
Just a little comment on the tree committee recommendations. We had talked about the members of the tree advisory board coming into council and talking, bringing it up to date.
Okay.
And we had tentatively talked about tonight, but they're busy writing their grants, which they want to get submitted October 1st. So they are slated for the October 10th meeting
Okay,
to come in.
okay.
October 10th meeting?
Yep.
We can scratch the
Wait,
Porsche Rally can be scratched off.
There you go.
how did that go?
Porsche Rally was, I think, quite successful, very good turnout, kind of a thing. On the parking lot light issue, I believe, Marcy, are we around to you now on that?
I don't, it's the first I've heard of it.
Well, we were in a rotation going around the
Yeah,
council.
but, well,
and
I mean-
believe, is that,
That's the
well,
poll.
isn't that what we're talking about here? The wooden poles? No, we're not talking
No.
about the wooden poles?
well,
That's 12.
yeah, number 12.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the one where
The
I
wooden
don't,
poles?
It was really the
No, I said, I'm sorry, you're right, I said parking lot, I
Yeah.
was looking down, I meant the wooden poles. Yes, the wooden poles.
because I think I don't know, have you had any update?
They're not, you can't get anything out of Duke. It's like pulling teeth. So what I understand from Cincinnati Bell, they have not even given us a joint utility request. So I talked to a gentleman at Cincinnati Bell who's like, I don't even know what you're talking about. They haven't even given us a joint utility request yet. And then when you talk to somebody, I talked to this gentleman, John, and he's like, I'm not on that advisory position anymore. Somebody from the council has already talked to someone, and you need to call the council member and get his name, and it's like, it's ridiculous. So from what I understand from Susan, the Spectrum only has 2 poles that they need to transfer off of. It's 8, the Cincinnati Bell needs to get their communication stuff from the wood pole onto the metal pole. But like I said, they have not even sent out a request for that yet. So it's not fun dealing with Duke.
Well, do you have like phone numbers and things that
No.
Marcy could
I
start to follow?
respectfully decline. I don't think that that's an efficient way to finish this process.
Well,
I mean, I don't know what,
I have to
I
agree
think what
with
we
you.
should do, and this is my opinion, but it should just be one person, because as soon as I said I'm
They're like,
not-
"Who are you?"
They're like, yeah, they're
Who are
like,
you?
we're already talking to someone on
Well,
Mariemont
and yeah, to
Council.
your point, I mean, it's like we complain about, we call them and it's somebody else, we're kind
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
Yeah.
flipping
I-
that around the same way.
I know, but, you know,
Yeah.
the original strategy was, you know,
Right.
I spent over a year doing calls and
So
contacts.
let's put it back.
And then
on
we had a
Bart.
resident came in, and
Mm-hmm.
she spent several weeks doing it. And then it was decided by a member of council that we would go in rotation
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
around the council, you know, the old, keep at it, keep bugging them until we get something done routine.
Well, let's revisit that.
And, well,
it's
We are.
starting the, I mean, it's reinventing the wheel to bring me up to speed. I don't know anything about what's going on with this.
okay.
I mean, I just don't
And-
feel like that's efficient use of my time.
Wh-
I mean, if everything else I'm trying to juggle,
Well, you don't have to
Okay.
defend it, then you can pass, and it goes to
I
Mrs.
respectfully
Mrs.
Well,
Rankin.
or do we revisit it next meeting? I mean, maybe we should rethink the strategy.
Rethink the strategy? Okay.
Well, I think the idea is that we knew it was going to be like this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we didn't want to exhaust one person.
Yes, we don't want,
Right.
exactly.
Pursuing them.
It
Now,
gets
I agree
very
with you
tiring.
that, you know, I just say I'm from the village at Mariemont. You know, if you want me to take, I call it the Andy Dufresne thing. You know how he got his library? He kept writing the state, and he finally got his library, so. If you want me to take over and hound him, I think we need to do that, because it's been proven to us that nothing's gonna happen.
No.
Because some things have happened
Well,
since we've started this
Yeah,
effort.
Yeah.
And nothing happened it's really been 3 years.
Well, yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
since the
because
metal
this
poles
does go
went
way
up,
back.
yeah.
Yeah, it goes way back. I don't know when I first got.
Yeah.
You know what, though, Randy? I mean, maybe we ought to revisit the strategy,
Yeah.
your strategy. I don't know, you don't have enough to do?
Well, trust me, I have
Well,
enough to
yeah.
do, but,
Yeah.
but on the other, I just want it to happen.
And I know you want it to
I want it
happen.
to
I think we all want it to happen,
Yeah.
and I don't know, you know.
Spectrum stated they should have, I guess they're waiting on a part, but they said generously, so conservatively, they would have everything transferred by January at the latest. So Spectrum, that piece of it's done. Now Cincinnati Bell states they have yet to hear from Duke. Duke states that it's been assigned a new project manager, and the new project manager, no name has been given, correct?
No. But,
And
well, he
no
said
phone
they
call.
talked to you.
Yeah, which is not true.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did.
You just get the runaround.
I remember some
So.
of them volunteering.
Well, and
Let's,
they're trying to outlast us.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, well.
Well, the thing is, because it costs them money.
Yeah.
There's a cost
Yeah, there's-
associated with it,
yeah.
and Duke doesn't really want to pay it right now.
All right,
So,
well,
yeah.
let's revisit this. I don't
Put it
want to
on the
spend.
agenda
I
for
don't
the
want,
next
yeah,
time.
next time. Do you want to Randy, do you want to take the batting cages off?
Well, we still have to get the lighting, so.
I already talked to John
you-
about the
awesome,
lighting. I had
Awesome.
him- Yeah, I had him over there after you and I were there the
Thank
other
you.
day.
Thank you.
So
Yeah, I think once we get the lighting, we
Okay.
can take that off. And then, as far as, I think you might have all seen, as far as the park benches, I sent out a note just to do a short-term citizen committee to look at options, you know, and then, do they decide that when you, if you want to sponsor a park bench, do you pay for the pad
Right.
below it?
Yeah.
You know, I think they should all have pads, you know.
Yeah, it makes sense.
concrete. And what do those cost? So we'd have to get that from John. And I think a consistent plaque, and then a discussion of what do we do with the ones that are out there and so forth. So I think a short term, I'd like to get this done so that I know I've got one person that wants to do 2 of them in this calendar year for tax purposes. So, you know, we need to hurry on this and get it done.
Okay.
I'm hoping that they can spend a couple weeks on this and get it done.
Okay.
I'd rather do that and engage the community than
Oh, yeah.
make a unilateral decision.
I have just one question, though. Why not just have the park board and the garden club decide what kind? Because that's a good mix.
I would be happy.
And then you don't have to put a committee together. You just have the members of those 2 boards, because they're the ones that take care of the parks.
So you're saying the Garden Club and the Parks Advisory Board?
Should work together to come up with,
If we can get it done
well, I'll make
within a
sure
month
it
or
gets-
so, I'm agreeable to that.
Yeah.
But we have to get it done.
Well, I mean, the farmer's market's done,
Yeah.
so,
Okay, so we'll
if
sign.
if I get the 2 groups together and get them started on it and make sure, is that okay with you,
Oh,
instead of doing a
To me,
committee?
our only timetable here is we do have people who want to do it in 2022.
And we have momentum.
So
Yeah.
we've got, that's all we need to do. We need to decide what it is, what's the cost, how do we do it? And then, if you remember, we had passed that ordinance to where there'd be a process to say, where does it
Yeah.
go?
Yeah.
Did we choose the right park bench? Because we've got some park benches that are out there that shouldn't be out there.
Right.
So, we've got all that. I love it. If those are the 2 main stakeholders,
Yeah.
if they could do this, that'd be awesome.
Okay.
So we're gonna-
I'm totally agreeable to that.
So you want to take benches off of number 4?
Well,
but
no, put
leave
it on
hydrants and
mine.
curbs?
Just put it in mine.
So make a separate line item and put Leah's name by
Yeah,
it?
we'll
Yeah,
just-
we'll
Yeah,
just
just
add-
put-
We'll just add.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I think one last thing, Richard, do you want to make a comment about the audit report?
Yeah, Rob and I met and finalized kind of the follow-up on the audit report, and I think he emailed that, is it in this packet?
Yeah, the
So-
summary.
So we can take that off the task list.
Okay.
Awesome.
So now do I do the swimming pool? Because now I'm caught up on what we're actually doing.
It's not,
So just real quickly on the swimming pool, Cincinnati Pool Management is done. So they've finished all of the things that they need to do. The keys have been taken out of the lock boxes. We're going to give the lock boxes back. John is going to, I think he already has winterized the pool, so
Yeah.
we're done with that.
I think we're good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, Mayor, I got something.
oh, yeah.
Please, chief.
Mayor, I meant to send you a memo to remind you today, but we got a little busy. But I'm sure everybody here is familiar with the situation on Plainville Road. During rush hour, like 7 to 9 in the morning, probably 3 to 6 in the afternoon. If you're on Plainville Road trying to turn left onto Wooster, it's almost impossible, and it backs up big time. So I was going to send you a memo and ask you to consider putting in a committee that
No left turn.
possibly post that no left turn, 7 to 9 in the morning and 3 to 6 in the afternoon. I think that would help with the traffic flow.
From Plainville onto Wooster?
Yeah, if you're ever trying to turn left on
I never
Plainville,
go
if
that
somebody's
way.
trying to
Yeah,
turn left.
yeah, because it's
never go that
impossible.
way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Tell you what, you put
impossible.
your left turn signal on and you've
But-
made yourself a lot of enemies.
Yeah, yeah, because you just back everybody up.
That'll go to Leah's committee.
Okay.
You want
I
3
appreciate
to-
that.
Oh.
And then one other thing, I just want to remind everybody about the Ohio Ethics Commission training that I've set up for November 1st.
Right.
That'll be here.
Well, thanks, yeah.
What time
Thank
is
you.
that?
1 to 2 or 1 to 3. I know it starts at 1 o'clock.
It starts at 1, I think it,
Don't leave
1
that
to 3 or
podium.
1 to 3, I
1 to
think.
That's,
Mhm.
that's election day.
I've got 1 o'clock.
Okay.
Okay.
We have muffins with the mayor.
May I? Oh, muffins with the mayor. I had a couple residents on Thorndike and Murray ask me about the traffic or Madisonville Road being closed and Plainville being closed. Do we have timelines on those approximately?
I'm hearing as of today, it could be 3 to 4 more weeks.
For both Plainville and Madisonville Road?
Correct.
It's a mess over there right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Can I have an officer go with me when I tell them?
Hey, just on that ethics committee, or not committee, but training, anybody that we have on a subcommittee or any type of committees out there really should be at that training if they can.
Yeah.
Because there's certain things that everybody needs to know that they can and can't do. You know, you can't hire yourself, for example. They really need to be at that training, if at all possible.
It's definitely an eye-opener.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
think-
I'm
I
sorry,
think
these
the
folks we talked
invitation-
about tonight should all be there, like South 80 Committee and?
Yeah.
Any committee, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, because there's certain things that, because they're on a government committee, they really would benefit from this, and they really need to be aware so they don't get themselves in trouble.
Well, wouldn't we
And-
have to have more than one session? Because we're talking a lot of people.
Well, here's the thing, she likes to, it'd be hard to get her back down here. She comes from Columbus, and she's actually going to be at University of Cincinnati that morning at 10 o'clock. She likes to talk to at least 60 people. Well, because she's coming to University of Cincinnati, she was willing to come out here. We probably won't have 60. But what I do need to know, and I don't know, Mayor, if you want to have everyone that's going to come either contact myself or Joni's office, or somebody needs to keep track
To
of
get a
how
count.
so we know what the count's going to be, because we may not be able to hold it here.
Right.
Well,
I may
Allison
have
had
to get another venue here in the village, depending on the numbers.
Right, right.
Allison had requested RSVP, so if.
Okay,
kind of run
and that's
that-
great if you can go through, if it can go through Allison and somebody can give me a number, in advance, where we're at, so I can let them know, let her know how many people she's going to be talking to and where she needs to come to.
Sure.
Thanks.
Yeah, that'll be
Okay.
good. Yeah, thank you, Chief.
Should we go through the committees and have, assign somebody to contact each of them?
They were all sending us.
They
Yeah,
they
well-
were.
They were all-
Is
every- everybody was- yeah.
How has our response been?
Tepid.
Because they don't, maybe they don't know,
Yeah, they probably don't understand the significance of coming. And so, I think if we send an email to the committee chairs and just let them know that it's really important that everyone on a committee should come if possible. I know not everybody can because they've got different conflicts, but they really need to be aware.
Like the pool committee.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
and
really
the-
need to be aware of it.
Well, and the invitation was sent to the chairs of each committee and said that we would like you to have as many committee members as possible. So if you want, I would just
Okay,
say,
here it is.
if you want to send out an additional
Reminder.
reminder, yeah.
1 to 2 p.m.
All right. Anything else? We're adjourned.
Thank you.
Thank you.